everyone, welcome to SportsKhabri with me. Little bit of a bad start, but anyways, yeah, with me Aradhi and Rishi. Welcome to SportsKhabri, guys. We're here to preview the third test between India and New Zealand. It's going to be an interesting test because India still need to get the win. We've lost the series, first one since 2012, first test series lost since 2012 at home, but the result is still so important for India when we go to Mumbai to face New Zealand for the final test of the series. Based on the situation right now, it looks as though India need to win at least four games, and some articles suggest that we need to win five to guarantee qualifications. That means India needs to win this last test in Mumbai, and then you need to win four tests in Australia out of five, which is it looks like a tough task, but just like it's been a few days, bro, Rishi, and like, what is the general feeling? Are you feeling like, you know what? Like, has it all sunk in, and has it? Are you now saying this Indian team is still not too bad? Are we overreacting, or do you think the reactions on social media have been justified? There are a couple of things that I also wanted to discuss in relation to the whole Rohit Sharma captaincy thing. We'll get to that, but yeah, just what is the mood, bro? What's the feeling right now?
For me, you see, it's okay to lose games, but if you lose when you're when your opponents put more effort, they do their homework somewhat better than you, and then if that's how they beat, then that is a little bit more demoralizing. Like I felt India didn't lose like just because of New Zealand being superior to us in every aspect. I felt we didn't do our homework. We didn't put a lot more effort. It's like whether be it in batting, be it in fielding. Like I always felt like we didn't like, especially while playing against spin. I felt they navigated our spinners much better than we did theirs, and like we were just lazy enough. We weren't putting our front foot forward as much. We weren't uh like you know like even in the field, I could like New Zealand was stopping every half a chance. They were throwing their body across and they were fielding. So I feel that is where we kind of lost the game. And see, I wouldn't put it too harshly on the this like. Of course, we did mistake. I mean, we did one mistake of the toss in the first game, but at the same time, even Tom Latham came out and said that he would have also batted if had he won the toss. So it seems like both teams, both sides misjudged the pitch. So you can't. I don't think it's fair to read too much into that. But I felt overall our efforts are like our homework was much lower, and that is going to be very concerning because we are going to a test we're stepping into a test series which is going to be much tougher in terms of conditions, in terms of opponents. Like, so if this is the kind of attitude we're going to take over there, then we're going to find ourselves in the middle of nowhere. Like, three tests in, we're going to be looking down the barrel of a 3-0, 4-0 defeat. So if we can learn from this and if we can bounce back really well, I think there's nothing like, we needed a reality check. We needed some like kick in the gut to be like, yeah, guys, like, listen, if we play like this, things are not going to be fine. But I feel we can still learn from this and put up a really good show in the third test.
Ali, what's the feeling now? Because right now uh, again, like, for me, it's a little like, okay, it's still not too doom and gloom. You think this India team has it in them to sort of fight back and win this last test and then do well in Australia?
I mean, firstly, I think we have to talk about the first two tests, right? Going into the first test, I'm sure every Indian fan thought, okay, it's going to be an easy 3-0 sweep. You saw the adverts saying final, target, final, some weird advertisements like that. And then you go into the first match. I think everyone were overconfident in the first test series. I think right from captain's decision in the toss time to like the batting, opening pair, etc. Everything in the first innings, you could see like they came in that it okay, it's another, after the Bangladesh series, it was like, okay, yeah, we're just going to carry the momentum, another 3-0 win. Let's focus on BGT. It was like that. I think that was the main viewpoint from me. It was never like, let's finish these three games, like, let's finish this game in Bangalore, let's finish this game in Pune, then Bombay. It was all a lot of talk was already in talking about World Test Championship. A lot of talk was already in like BGT, what's the squad for BGT, etc., etc. Like, I think that was the first mistake, anyways, because as soon as the first day went, well, not even first day, first session got done, we were already 6 wickets down, 7 wickets down. We were going into a first session. I mean, one and a half sessions done, we were 46 all out. I think after that, the way team responded, it was overall the team, the way they responded, the players, the way they responded. Captain way he responded also was like, I wouldn't want to use the word lethargic, but it was more like, it was like, yeah, fine. Like, it was not like, okay, let's fight back after this 46. And in the second innings, they could have fought back. You know, there were two batsmen who were playing very well, right? Sarfaraz and Pant. Again, two silly mistakes. They get out. Again, Jadeja shouldn't come and they crumble down. It was not. I'm not going to sit and say they should have batted the entire day, this that, but they could have taken some responsibility. The pitch had eased down by then. Where like I would expect Jadeja and Ashwin, if you're playing Test cricket, if you're able to score runs, they could have done better out of the situation. Like in Bangalore, the fourth day when we were batting, it was not that tough, especially when Sarfaraz Khan and Pant were able to score a lot of runs. And then you lose those 2 wickets, and then it was all done. Like you could see the entire morale was done. You can't help it when the bowlers couldn't do much. Defending a target of 120, 125. So obviously, like New Zealand were going to win that. And okay, fine. For first test, okay, we lose. Let's go into the second test. The reports came in that the coaching staff, Rohit Sharma, etc., wanted a proper spinning track, rank turner, this, that, etc. They got what they wanted. It was even worse the second test. I feel like the second test was even worse because at least the first test, it could have happened, bro. Like the conditions were tough to bat in the first 1 hour, 2 hours that day, and 46 all out. You can be surprised in Chinnaswamy Stadium, but those conditions were literally like some stadium in England. Like it was fully overcast. You see the ball swinging left, right, center, bounce. Everything was there. So like going to the second test, you get the conditions which is favoring you. You prepare for the conditions that you know what's going to happen, and you're still not able to tackle those conditions. I think that was a bit embarrassing more than anything else because you know you as a captain, you as a coach, you expect and you ask the pitch curators, okay, this is the conditions I want, this is the type of pitch I want, right? You know how the pitch is going to behave. It's not like these conditions were not new to them. They were not accustomed to them to sit and play through it. I mean, in on all honesty, it was tougher for New Zealand to sit and play in those conditions because they're just not used to it, right? Over Indian players played a lot of cricket in India, etc. And then getting outclassed in batting, looking at the way New Zealand were playing spin, it seemed like they just knew how to play the spin better. Even though second test also was a bit of it was a tight game. Overall, New Zealand dominated. Like that first innings of India, the way they batted, I think it was horrendous. Like the pitch, you could have easily scored 250, 300 runs. That was how the pitch was. And not even to score 200 runs on the pitch, I think that is where they lost. Like,
Mm.
as soon as you get all out for 160, again, it's a batting order. Like, one, two guys get out, entire team crumbles. It's the same pattern from the first test, right? And even in the second innings, it was the same thing. It was not like, okay, first innings, whatever it is, we got out. Now, second, we had 3 days to bat, bro. It was not like they didn't have enough time to score runs. It is not at all like they didn't have enough time to score runs. It is that the second innings you get to bat. I don't know why they're again, playing in a certain style. I mean, to be fair, when Jaiswal came in, he started to play a certain type of cricket. And bro, within the first session, what we had scored 100 runs already, and we needed only 200 runs in 3 days. That's the whole thing. Like 3 days, we needed 200 runs. There was no hurry to play certain shots. They could have tried something different. As I was saying that day, like, bro, these guys were able to play well on the back foot. Like Jaiswal was playing well on the back foot every time he was able to play the spin. Even Virat, in the beginning, was able to play spin well on the back foot. I just don't know why they didn't take. I don't know why the batters didn't notice what Jaiswal did. The entire time, all his boundaries were on the back foot. He was just playing on the back foot, flicking it for force. Then players like Gill, okay, Punt again on out. Gill, Ashwin, your Sarfaraz Khan, everyone's just trying to drive, play on the front foot, front foot, front foot. Everyone got out. I mean, I think they could have batted well. The second innings, the way Jaiswal started, and to what extent he took the first session, 200 runs in 3 days, I think they should have done a better job of. And I think we need to question the batting order, the batting setup, and the confidence of these guys to play. Test cricket especially.
I think much has been said about the performances of the Indian batting lineup, and we've all been pretty critical of them. But at least on social media, like the conversation that is weirdly sort of doing the rounds. I know this is from a very superficial level, but still, Rohit Sharma's captaincy, memes popping out. There are a lot of reels that have been trolling his approach and sort of comparing what India were under Virat Kohli, the aggressive nature of the side that we were, and of course Virat Kohli did really well as India's red ball captain. He brought back the Indian Test team to where it was always supposed to be. Rishi, do you guys, or both of you, like, do you guys think like there is like captaincy element that is sort of missing? It's like under Rohit Sharma, it's almost like because of the way he is as a person, that is almost kind of lethargic and very like easygoing sort of thing. Sometimes it feels like the team is just going through the motions, but under Virat Kohli, everybody just looked that little more fired up and pumped up. You think that's a thing, or it's just social media hype?
I mean, if you look at your captain and he himself is so involved, like we've all played cricket and we've all played sport to like at least some level. So we look at our captain, we see him being fired up, going into the faces of the opponents. That's gonna rub off at least to some extent. Like I feel that it makes a 5%, 10% difference to someone at least, and I think that will definitely make a change. Like you see him putting in the dives, him going into the faces of like the players. Like he's always charged up. He's giving his 100%. That is of course going to have some level of psychological effect on the players. Like at the same time, you see like Rohit Sharma giving the viewers entertainment in like stump mic. He's going on about it. He's belting all the players, and he himself is half the time he's lethargic. In fact he's caught like scolding his players. I think it all, I don't think it makes like huge differences, but it will have its subtle differences. And but to be fair, I don't think like like his attitude towards the players is going to make as big of a difference as it is being portrayed, but of
No,
course like they will have its differences here and there.
dude, like the thing is, like, I feel like in Test cricket, it makes a big difference because you're tired, dude. You're out there for so long, and like you said, we've all played cricket, and when you've got like the fielders like a little more pumped up, I feel like the bowler also has like a little bit of a spring in his step. He wants to come in, he wants to bowl hard. It's we've all played cricket, of course, not at international level, but like at club level and like school level and all of that. And it's at least to me, like even when you play tennis ball cricket, it makes a difference. I'm sure it's making a difference, bro. In like 40 degrees when you're bowling like really hard, like your fast bowlers are tired and like they're coming in for another short spell after like a long couple of sessions. I really think it makes a difference, and I feel like that element is missing. It's sort of missing. Like although it looked like India were charged up even for that final session, sorry, final innings against New Zealand in Bangalore, it just feels like it at some point they just go through the motions. It just feels like everyone's a little tired, a little too like relaxed, bro. And yeah, Pant is chirpy, but it's still not that same thing that really gets you fired up. I don't know why, but there's something missing. There's something missing. And I feel like that was there under Virat Kohli's captaincy. I think to that extent it is justified. I don't think Rohit Sharma's the same. He's not the same kind of person. That's why it probably comes in like that. But dude, like you see it, okay? Like even when we're playing tennis ball cricket, when like a couple of like there are a couple of guys that we play with also,
We
okay?
have friends who like even before the second
Yeah.
inning start, their heads will be
Yeah,
down.
the
They'll be
heads will
like,
be
"Bro,
down.
why are we
Exactly.
playing?"
And exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's no like already hope is lost. Standing in covers and like was looking down and just bro, like
Exactly.
it doesn't help you. So yeah, Adi, you think it makes a difference?
Bro, I mean, I get what you guys say. Like when Virat was there, he's a guy who's, you know, it's a 5 day game. It's not a 1 day game where you're going to play for like 2, 3 hours. It's 5 days, and you have to play like what 7, 8 hours of cricket every day for 5 days. And bro, like you need to be on not even physically peak, even mentally peak, because especially in India, after you're bowling continuously, especially spin for like 10, 20 overs, quick, quick, quick. It kind of gets jarring. It kind of gets monotonous, and you people just lose that rhythm and concentration, right? And during Virat, he was a guy who would always, he would have that spark, if you want to say it like that. With Rohit Sharma, I think it's not there. Like I can't blame, because like again, two different eras, two different age. Like I think Rohit Sharma, if he was also a young captain, like maybe he would have had that spark, right? You can't really expect him at 36, 37 to have some high BP, go every second, come. Like you just can't expect it. You can't do anything about that. But I think more of like that captaincy of, okay, let's go every ball. I think it was the mentality after the game. I was just watching that interview where like he said it's okay to lose, one series
Like
in
once in
13,
12
14
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I think that
That's
mentality, yeah, I felt I was okay with Rohit Sharma as the captain, because I don't expect him to do certain things, especially in Test match, because you just can't. Like I if he's a captain, I know his limits and I'm okay with it. But after the game, when you're coming out in a press conference, losing, your first Test series in 14 years, and the way we lost was kind of embarrassing. It was not that pretty. Like it was not like we had a bad rough of luck. Like everything went against us. We still fought hard and we won. I mean, we lost. It was it was almost like losing two Test series to New Zealand within 3 days, both Test games. It was kind of embarrassing. So coming out and saying it's okay to lose once in 14 years, I think that mentality was something which
bro. That's the
didn't
thing.
sit
Like,
with me well. Like,
do you think Ricky Ponting would have ever said something like that?
bro, but I don't think any captain would like losing, right?
Bro,
And
I'm
you
talking
can't
about like elite teams, bro. Like if you look at the elite teams in cricket, you see like the Australian team that dominated for so long, or say Virat's team under
see.
India for that period. Would he have come and said, "Oh, bro, I can never imagine Ricky Ponting saying something like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's been 12 years since we've lost a test in Australia. It's fine, bro." Like that, Tim Payne also could have come and said no after they lost in Gabba after 30 whatever years. He could have come out to the press conference and said, once one defeat in
He did say
at
that, I
Gabba is
feel like.
okay.
I'm sure he told something like that. Like, I'm
No,
not gonna
no,
lie.
bro. They were still fired up. Like my point is, even before that test, like he was like, bro, although Tim Payne has nothing to speak about, like he has nothing to speak for, he's not a great cricketer himself. He's like, bro, yeah, come, we'll take you to the Gabba, we'll play there and all that.
So
And
I was
bro,
listening
Rohit
to the,
Sharma,
like, sorry to interrupt. I was listening to the Great Cricketer podcast where Tim
I
Payne
know
comes
what
on.
you're going to
Yeah,
add.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it was so trippy because he comes and he's like, dude, like for your information, I was not talking to the Indian team. I was not talking to the fans to give us shit online. Like I was talking strictly to Ashwin, and then Ashwin didn't like come the next game. He got injured and he pulled his hamstring. He was out, and he's like, my only
Back,
intent
back,
was to
back
drive.
spasm.
Huh? Yeah, back
Back
spasms.
spasm.
Yeah,
uh,
and yeah, exactly. And he didn't come for the game. And then Tim Payne's also like, dude, like I'm watching him at the end of the play. He's going and jogging. I'm like, bro, like that's not. And then the whole thing gets taken out of context. And like in that moment, I felt a little bit bad, like because we all heard like I can't wait to take, and that kind of spurred the whole team, the whole nation. Like I think that's where everything went up a notch. And then he's just like, bro, I did not mean it in that way. Like he just accidentally gave us the win.
bro,
Bro, that's just the cop out now, bro.
yeah,
I
that is
don't think
mad
he
cop
was.
out, but like,
At
bro,
that point, you think he's only talking about Ashwin. I'm sure he was like,
I
he's
mean,
insinuating I can't
they
be
were
proud
going
of.
okay,
personal at each other. No,
bro, like, so just getting it back to what we were discussing, which is just the fact that do you think like any elite captain would come out and be like, oh no, it's okay for us, like, hey bro, एक बार तो बनता है and all that, whatever, I don't know what he said, but like it feels a little too casual and feels a little too lightly taken. Of course, again, like bro, as fans, it's not like we'll be so critical and we'll be like, oh no, you can't lose once in 12 years, but you don't want to see that from your that mentality you don't want to see from your captain. That oh, it's okay to lose. That it's okay to lose mentality is there means, bro, like
Bro, it is
then
very casual. Like you can't.
yeah,
The
that's what.
intention should never be it's okay to lose. Like you lose, like take it. Just swallow the tough pill. Be like, yeah, we were bad today. We just didn't come up. Our mistake. We'll work on it. Like just whatever it is. Like you can criticize us how much ever you want. I get it, and we move on. That's the whole point. Like, bro, I've seen so many. Like whenever I see the biggest, like whatever sports athletes, managers, leaders, whatever in sports, at least they're always like, bro, they're bad losers in the sense of, okay, we lost today, we'll show you the next game.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
way
yeah.
the way he spoke in the press conference was like, oh, it's fine, like so long we won, like
Bro,
banta hai kind of
exactly,
thing. Like I
exactly,
didn't like that attitude. It's like,
bro.
where's the responsibility? Like that was my, and that kind of irked me. I'm like, what do you mean? Like where is, like, why it's fine? Like, bro, you have to show that fire. Like I don't know if he has it fire. I don't know. And we all speak about Gumby. He comes talks like, yeah, we're not allowed to lose one game in our life. This mentality, that mentality, GG mentality. I had expected it to be in this thing, but when your coach and your captain's like, I mean, fair enough, Gambhir didn't speak the same words, but if you have a captain who's okay with it, I mean, I feel like if Gambhir was today, if Gambhir was just sitting outside, as a sports analyst, whatever, and talking about it, I don't think he would have taken it well. He would have bashed Rohit Sharma or who has
Hundred
said that
percent, bro.
sentence.
100%.
I want to see how he'd react if he was in as a coach now. Here, as a coach, how does he react? Because I know for a fact if he heard Virat speak the same thing, KL Rahul speak the same thing, whatever, whoever speaks the same thing, he was
Bro,
not. He
I'm
wouldn't have kept
saying,
quiet.
bro.
He would have bashed them, bro. He would have been like, "This is the greatest opportunity. You have to play. You have to eat cricket, sleep cricket, everything." He would have said. Now I don't know how he's going to react. But one more thing of the press conference, what I saw. But Rohit Sharma was like, he was putting the blame on the players. Like he was not even subtly, he was directly saying like, the bowler should do better, the batter should do better, the fielders should do better. Bro, I didn't like that also because, bro, when I've seen captains like I remember Dhoni, I remember Kohli, they would always take the blame. They would be like, put the blame on me. I take the blame. Like I'm in front of the media today. I'm not going to let my players down. In the dressing room, you bash them, you do whatever you want. Like we all know how it works in the dressing room. Like it is okay. But outside in a press conference, when you're like talking to media, you know how they can take it. It is the outside world. You're the captain. You're the guy who's going to sit and talk to the media. You're representing the players, the Indian cricket team, whatever it is. Him going and saying, yeah, like the bowler should have done better, the batter should have done better, whatever it is. Like I just don't believe and I don't resonate in the same mentality. Like he should have been. I've seen Dhoni be like, yeah, dude, like my fault. We played bad. Put the fault on me. I take responsibility. We move on. That responsibility wasn't there. Like he was not showing that character of, okay, yeah, we're gonna fix it. My issue. You'll see in the next 5 games, next 6 games. It was that character wasn't there. Like I didn't see it, and that's where I'm like, yeah, it was like a ick moment for me. I'm like, huh, what? Like it's sport. We all lose. Like
Yeah, bro, 100%.
what are
Like,
we respond?
do we need another test captain? Do we need somebody else?
I mean, obviously, bro. When Ran is still there, fit, ready to play, as I say, I feel like he needs to be captaining the Indian side right now.
Hmm. Rishi, bro, what do you think?
Mhm.
New test
I mean,
captain, Rahane
Rohit
is
Sharma
there.
is pretty much 37, and if we're really going to get into his batting, it's not been great. Like, let alone as a captain. Like, if he were not a captain, if he was just a player, I think he would have been dropped quite a while ago. So now that his captaincy is also come into question, like we'll have to start looking at alternatives soon, right? Like he's 37, he's gonna like at the latter stages of his career. So we are gonna like essentially have to look at a younger like long-term captain. So I feel we might as well start the process now, like and not have to do any firefighting job later on.
Like, if you really look at it, you don't see a lot of names, bro. To be fair, like, uh, it just feels like there's nobody there. There's no, I don't even know.
I mean, we
Ishan
all
think
know.
Ashwin deserves to be captain. Do you guys think Ashwin has a? But again, like he's one of those guys who sort of towards the end of his career. I think that's what Ishan's saying, Ashwin. But like,
I think he's 38. You can't expect anything from him
bro,
anymore.
that's what you're not going to get a lot of years from him.
See,
And
the thing is, vice
I
captain
would
right now is
love to see
Bumrah,
Ashwin as
right?
captain. Actually, I would actually have loved to see Ashwin as an Indian Test team captain. I feel like
Really?
he's yeah, bro. There's a personality in him, bro. Like if you
I
see,
don't think, but bro, Ashwin was a guy who could never lead a team, for me at least. He's never led a team in the top level cricket. I just don't know, like,
no, he's never done it. But
at
like when I
least
was
in
a
this Indian
Punjab
team,
captain, he
no,
looked
but
good.
in
Like
this Indian team, like I just, bro, being an India captain is more than just playing cricket. It's politics. Is that everything comes with it? Like
yeah,
that's my thing. Like if you're an Indian captain, it's not just being smart as a cricketer coming and taking them on the pitch. Like he could have captained a team like Australia. Fair enough. I can think, yeah, it would have suited him better there because They only speak cricket. It's nothing else comes in between that. But in India, we know how it works. There's a lot of politics back, behind the scenes stuff where like I don't think Ashwin would have just suited the role overall. Like, at least my opinion.
Rishi, any names you have for next Indian captain, Test captain? Because like the only guy who
I mean,
comes to my
like
mind is actually Bumrah because he's the only guy
Bumrah,
who's got
yeah,
play
exactly.
consistently. And
So
to an extent, he's got like some fire in his belly. Like I think Bumrah's got a real fire. But I think he was the
I think
only
the
guy in
only
that
test
final
he
innings. He was
captain he
up for it.
lost, right?
Uh,
who also who are the consistent players? Like we're gonna have to go with someone who is going to be a mainstay player, right? Like right now, who like with the information with the players that we have in the current squad, who are the long term options? Like I can't think of many. Like
Dude, the thing is, we've had this conversation before, but the thing is, now suddenly attitude of the captain has come into the picture because until like, bro, until Rohit Sharma, nobody cared. Like until this happened, right? Like nobody cared about like how the captain's attitude was and all. Now suddenly we're like, oh, we've lost this Test series to New Zealand. The captain's attitude also matters. So we're also considering that we're considering like what attitude he brings and what he does for the team.
see, if we're gonna look at that aspect, then I think it's safe to say that like Pant wouldn't probably like he's I feel Pant is someone who like follows like Rohit Sharma's suit. Like he loves to be a little bit casual, like take the sting out of the game. Like like even in IPL games we've seen him like Virat Kohli's batting, he's gone and stood next to side screen while being the Delhi captain. So like when you are the test captain, I feel you have to have a little bit more of a seriousness and like that. So I feel Pant is also taken out. So who are the consistent players? Like I
Bro, no,
can't think of
100%,
anyone,
bro.
bro.
Bro, I
See, you
agree,
can
bro.
say with like strongly BCCI wants to push Gill's case. So Gill is going to stick around, like we can say with certain level of confidence. So, but again,
Bro,
can
it
we
doesn't
say
come
with
off.
some level of clarity that he is going to be a good test captain? I like we just haven't seen of it like enough.
Bro, he just doesn't give captain vibes also. I just don't get that.
Exactly.
He didn't even captain his under 19 side, so I don't think Gill is like I don't know, man. Like he doesn't give like and Rishabh Pant definitely, brother. Did you? I'm sure we've seen the clips again doing the rounds like on Instagram, which is of Pant asking Kuldeep to get out in the Duleep Trophy game.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
jaldi out ho jao or whatever. I'm just like, dude, it's a
Punt as a captain, no,
bro.
see.
It's a competitive game. You're you're bro. You're a captain. What are you doing? I mean, yeah. Would you like to see Hardik Pandya play tests more often? We were missing that kind
Can
of
he?
players.
Can he play is the question.
Bro,
yeah.
Does he
that's
want
at the
to play is the
scorchy
question.
level. I just don't. Doesn't look
I
like he
mean,
can play.
I don't think he
exactly
himself
if
wants to play,
they
right?
Yeah, yeah.
if he can play, then fair enough. You can give a decent shout.
We're
Like
missing that kind of player. Like to be fair, we were missing that extra seam option who can bat.
if see if he were to if he were on top of his game, we would have probably taken him for Bodagawaskar instead of say Nitish Kumar or someone
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
as that
bro.
bowling all rounder. Like
Bro, Hardik Pandya looks finished in red ball cricket. I don't think there's any chance he comes back into the red ball team. He just looks a finished player in this format. Didn't even play
He
the Duleep
himself is
Trophy.
not interested to play
Yeah,
it,
he
right?
doesn't
Like he
look like
doesn't play
yeah,
the Ranji
bro.
Trophy. I don't think he's. I
Yeah,
think it's more of one day and that's it for him. So there's no point until he changes his mind. I mean, overall, I don't think there's any point of talking about Hardik because
yeah,
again, in Indian pitches, I don't think Hardik will be that useful anyways. If you're playing in India, I think he would be useful options in places like England, especially. I think if you're playing in England, South Africa, that's where he actually comes pretty handy. But he himself doesn't want to play, so what's the point?
yeah.
But apart from that, bro, see, Gill one option I think because it's not our. I don't know about you both, but my not my ideal option. But you see India pushing it a lot. I don't know
but yeah, who is
which part
there?
of
That's the
India is pushing. I don't know, but it's for some reason he's just being pushed a lot. You know, again, Chaiswar. I don't think he can. I don't know if he has a captaincy material. At least he's very young. Let him bed into the Indian team. We don't have a number three. I mean, if Rohit Sharma retires, we don't have an opener number three. Like, will Gill start opening again? You don't know who's going to open, who's going to come number three. If do you does India BCCI have the so-called that swallow the ego pill? You know, if Rohit Sharma retires and Virat still plays cricket, do you want to get him back for next 2 years? Because apparently reports are saying he wants to become the RCB captain again,
Bro, I would love to
and
see Virat as India captain again. I
it was
can't
a
even lie.
decision by him anyways. Bro, again, that's the question now. You want Virat as a
Yeah, but
captain.
Yeah,
What is
you
the
see,
point of taking him out anyways? Like, that's the whole conversation
no,
is
bro,
going to
like,
come.
see, like, fine, okay, he stepped down, whatever, it didn't work.
He didn't
Like, bro,
step
you
down.
tried Rohit Sharma, it didn't work. Bro, 2 years, just get him in for one WTC cycle, bro. It'll be insane, insane. It'll be, bro. Like just
but do
for
you
one
realize the next
WTC cycle.
WTC cycle is going to be even harder because we're not going to take Jadeja, we're not going to take
Yeah, yeah,
Ashwin, we're not going to probably not going to have like Rohit Sharma
I think
or
Ashwin's
only.
going to play, bro. I still think Ashwin will play
bro.
for the
And I
next two
think you
years.
need you need that character, bro. Like you need somebody like Virat when you don't have those senior players. He
Hmm,
was the guy who did it without the senior players, and I feel like he's the only one who has that fire in him, bro. Like in this India
that
team, apart
dog
from
in him.
yeah,
So
we
what, you will
need
only
that,
want
bro.
him
We
as a
really
test
need that.
captain?
Huh? I would love to see him as test captain, bro.
Only red ball captain.
Only red ball captain. White ball,
So
just
you
do
think
whatever
Rohit
you want.
Sharma will be white ball still? Like, for example,
Bro, white
ODI.
ball, see, honestly, personally, to me, it doesn't matter who white ball captain is. I don't even like as a cricket fan, I'm not a big fan of white ball cricket anyways. T20 cricket, yeah, bro, like fine, it's chill, it's great, all of that, but it's red ball, bro. I mean, I think for me, the red ball captain matters the most. White ball, you make anyone, bro. Make Rishabh Pant tomorrow. I honestly couldn't care less. So, but yeah, but bro, we need an aggressive
See,
and
that's the
like
thing, like for like the level of confidence that I have in the white ball format, the white ball, like be it 50 over or 20 overs, I have a lot more confidence in that in the future of our white ball cricket than red ball cricket. And it's very concerning. Like what we were
yeah,
not able to pick our proper batting lineup for the next, like 1 2 3 years, like where we don't have proper test quality tried and tested seamers, we don't have like proper test quality batsmen. Like that was one thing that was like exposed for us in the first, like in fact in both the games when wickets started falling, nobody stood ground. There was not one solid partnership who could make it like 2 or 3 sessions. Like wickets just kept tumbling. So that is one aspect, like we don't have proper good quality, like test future, and that is very concerning.
yeah. That's what, bro. White ball will be 100% will be fine for a long time because the IPL is there.
Mm.
IPL is there. You're churning white ball players left, right, center, left, right, center. It's coming. That players will always be there. So I don't think we'll ever be in a position where we won't have enough white ball players. But I feel red ball as white ball dominance sort of continues and goes on, red ball always going to be a slight issue. Yeah, again, like yeah, Ishan's asking about Washington. Sundar has calm mind. Spot in the team is uncertain. You guys you think Washington is the next like successor? He also brings a bit of balance because he can bat to the batting lineup. So
But I
what do you
think he's a proper like Ashwin
replacement?
replacement type of bowler. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think for that again from the same state, I think you can see the similarities where he bats, the way he is on the pitch. I think he's a guy who's very like technical in his bowling also. So I think a very like to like replacement to Ashwin. I mean, anyways, when Ashwin starts fading away or decides to retire, I think he'll fit into the side pretty much seamlessly. But again, I don't know about captaincy. Bro, that's the thing with Indian captaincy is a big thing, bro. Like you see one game where Rohit Sharma, 2 games he lost, and you see the amount of like pressure on him right now. I don't know how these guys are going to cope up to the pressure, and I think it's more of that. And one guy who's done that over a long time is only Virat. Like more than the captaincy, if we can talk about captaincy, the type of captain you are, etc. But there also comes, in terms of like, can this guy handle pressure? Because you're going to represent a nation of 1.7, 1.8 billion people. Can you take the pressure when you lose? Can you take the criticism? Can you actually sit and talk to the media? These things matter. And that's why I say, like, you need a strong character. None of these guys, they're young. You can't expect them to. I mean, if they are great enough, but none of them resonate, at least Virat, when he was young. You could see from the day one, he was not scared of any bowler, etc. I don't think there is any player like that right now. And Virat's the only guy who I feel like if you want to like go back to it, I think it would be the best decision, especially for Test cricket. But apart from that, no one else, bro. Just captaincy, I just think it's like we have to just wait. Like we have to be patient. Like you can't do much about it.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Rishi, bro, then let's just quickly preview India New Zealand, the third test. Very important now because of the way things stand. India need to win sort of what 4 or 5 of their next 6 games. That looks like an uphill task. Starts with the test in Mumbai. I think India can bounce back.
I mean, yeah, I think we can bounce back if we just fix one our effort levels. Like you just throw in almost about the same amount of effort as New Zealanders. I feel we are very much in the game, and like
Mm.
you see, that's the that was the concern. Like they were so sharp in the field, they was just throwing themselves at the ball. Like even in the first game, like the Ajas Patel was flying. Like he's not the most athletic, like naturally gifted fielder. Like he's pretty much an Indian. Like and you could see his level of sharpness in gully in backward point. Like we were all very slow. Like we could not compete with them in terms of fielding at all. And that and the temperament of batters like Will Young, like Rachin Ravindra, they were more than happy. Like Will Young, anything outside off stump or just above the off stump, he was leaving off Bumrah. I've never seen anyone leave Bumrah on the fourth stump, fifth stump line so comfortably. And he just kept doing that. He wore Bumrah down. He wore the spinners down. Him and Ravindra. Ravindra is playing the ball so late. He's playing everything. He's just wearing down our bowlers. And I don't think any of our players did that. Like of course, in the second test we went aggressive. We tried taking on the bowlers, but that is an entirely different thing as to being calm, like grinding them out. I feel we need to do that a little bit more. Like at least like show them that okay, we're not there to just be bullied. Like we're there to put up a fight. If we can do that, this is our condition. Like after all, we have a brilliant home record for a reason. So we have the tools to do that. If it's just a matter of if we can put match their effort levels.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Adi, you want to see any changes in the team for the final test?
See, again, I've read reports India have asked for a rank turner, etc. It depends on how the pitch is, right? That's one thing. I think more than changes, I think change means I would rather have a better attitude towards the game. One thing lucky for India is I think New Zealand are gonna chill now. Anyways, they won the series. I don't know the attitude they're gonna come and play with. For India, it's still like okay, we have to win this game no matter what kind of mentality. First that plus like as I said, New Zealand. I don't know if they're still in the run for the finals. Very slim chances for them. They still have to win all their games also, right? So like I don't know what mentality New Zealand are gonna come. Are
No, I'm
they
sure
like
they want to
relaxed?
win that because they've got England at home next. So they're playing
Bro,
at home
so
after this.
I know.
New Zealand have three tests against England.
At home. So
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure
there are
they're
four
up for
games left.
this.
They have to win all four games. But
Yeah, they have to win
that's the
all.
thing. Now, will they back themselves? Are they going to come out like, okay, we want to win? If they do, it can be a closer, I mean, same or close test match, whatever it is. But again, in terms of changes lineups, again, if it's going to be a ranked turner, one thing I would prefer, dude, that's what I thought last game. Because of the conditions of the pitch, I didn't think we needed it. I don't even think we need two paces, right? If I was the captain, if I was the coach, I would be a bit more like would try to do something different, try to have only one pacer because again, Akashdeep was just not working out. Bumrah didn't even ball in the second innings. Like Bumrah balled very less in the first innings also. Like I don't think you need so many pace. Two paces in India at times it's a waste. Or rather have Akshay Patel who can even be handy in the bat, left-handed batsman, bowler. Like I would have someone else who can play that spot. Like either give it to Akshay Patel or you give it to another batsman. Like I would do something different like that because last time the batting lineup, anyways, the balances didn't work out. Having an extra batsman with Akshay Patel helps. You literally have 10 players who can bat if you put Akshay Patel into it. Like looking at it, the 10 players can bat, right? And Akshay Patel plays spin very well also. So like, I would bring in Akshay Patel. That's one of the only changes I would make. One more thing, if again it was me, I would get in KL Rahul for Sarfaraz Khan. I just don't think he's able to play this kind of pitch that well, anyways. But again, it's Mumbai, his home ground. You never know he can play well. So like it's a 50-50 with at least that. But one change for sure, like I would get in an extra I would get an Akshay Patel for like Akash maybe.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so that's basically that. I know, Ishan, you got a couple of Indian football questions in. Yeah, I just want to clarify that before we He's a BFC fan. Adi, I don't know. We'll have to ask him. But
I'm an
yeah,
Indian football fan, bro.
yeah, yeah,
I want my
sure.
Indian football to grow all together.
Yeah. So yeah, but we're all well wishers for Indian football at least. Can safely say that. But yeah, that's that. Third test, India versus New Zealand starts Friday. Yeah, Friday. I think we've also got um South Africa, Bangladesh on. So it's it's a good, nice phase. South Africa playing some wonderful cricket, bro. Like it's been fun to watch what South Africa are doing in Bangladesh. So just catch those highlights, or if you can catch that live, it'll be great. India, Australia, of course, is so close, closer than ever. There's a lot of talk. India, Australia, so much content. It feels like it's really heating up, and it feels like there's a lot at stake with the BGT this time. So yeah, again, going to be a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and share the video, subscribe to SportsKhabri, and we will see you soon. Bye.